You know how we all have those little bits of money left over in our payment apps, that digital spare change? What if I told you that those little scraps could actually be turned into a really powerful financial tool? Let's explore how that's possible. So take a second and think about this. You look at the balance in your account, and the number is the same as it was yesterday, right? But is it really? This is the big question we're going to tackle. You might not see it, but there's this invisible force quietly working against your money. And yeah, that invisible force has a name. It's inflation. Every single day that your cash just sits there doing nothing, its purchasing power, what you can actually buy with it, is slowly, silently shrinking. It's a quiet drain for sure, but the good news is there's a super simple way to fight back. Okay, so let's get to the solution. There are these amazing tools out there designed specifically to rescue your spare change from the clutches of inflation. They basically turn that lazy money into money that's actually working for you. So let's meet a couple of these everyday heroes, Yuebao and Licaitong. Now, you can think of them as superheroes for your spare cash. And while these specific names might be new to you, the whole concept behind them is universal. It's really the perfect entry point for anyone who's just starting to dip their toes into personal finance. So what makes these tools so incredibly powerful? It all comes down to how easy they are to use. The threshold to start, it's practically nothing. You can often start with the equivalent of just a few cents. What if you need to cash back? No problem. You can take it out anytime you want. And probably the best part, you can set it up to automatically sweep up your spare change. It's effortless, passive income. All right, but how do they actually make your money grow? I know it might seem like some kind of financial magic, but the secret is actually a very simple, very established financial idea. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's going on. Okay, the engine that powers these tools is something called a money market fund. All that means is that your small change gets pooled together with money from thousands, maybe millions of other people. Then, a professional manager invests that big pot of money not in risky stocks, but in really, really secure financial instruments. The whole process really just boils down to three simple steps. 1, you put your spare change in. 2, a fund manager invests it all in super safe assets. And 3, you earn a piece of the returns from those investments. It's just a beautifully simple system that puts your money to work for you 24/7. And just so we're crystal clear, we are talking about extremely low-risk investments here. Your money is not being gambled on the stock market. Nope, it's being put into some of the safest places imaginable, like bank deposits, government bonds, and central bank notes. You know, the pillars of financial security. Okay, so you get the what and the how. Now let's turn all that theory into practice. I'm going to show you how you can use these tools to start building some smart financial habits just like a pro. Here are 3 really smart, simple strategies. First, set up those auto transfers. Just make it a habit so any idle cash automatically gets put to work. Second, think of this as your new emergency fund. It's safe, you can get to it quickly, and it earns way more than a typical savings account. And finally, just keep an eye on the returns. They do fluctuate a bit, so it's a good idea to check in every once in a while. So where does this fit into your financial life? Well, it's absolutely perfect for your emergency fund or for cash you know you're going to need pretty soon, like for rent or a vacation you've planned in a few months. It keeps your money safe and accessible while giving you that little extra boost. Let's end on this really important takeaway: managing your spare change. Look, it isn't about getting rich overnight. It's not a shortcut. What it is about is building a foundational habit. It's the very first piece of your personal wealth puzzle. It helps you build the discipline to make your money work for you, and that paves the way for all the bigger financial steps you'll take later on. And that brings us to one final question for you. Now that you see how easy it is to put that first piece of the puzzle in place, how are you going to start? Because sometimes taking that first small step is the most important one you can take on your entire financial journey.